morning, beautiful people. So today we're going to talk about overcoming overwhelm. So Tara, do you want to speak into a little bit what overwhelm feels like?
For me, it's when something unexpected happens in life and then the mind can go into fear, stress, catastrophizing, and kind of this snowball effect of future scenarios that could happen. And it feels like a very anxious energy, itchy energy in the body, that then there's a lot of like tightness and a lot of stress that comes from it.
So maybe some of you can relate to that. And really, we have a plan, right? We have a plan of how we think life is going to look, or how today is going to look, or this week is going to look. And I find it quite amusing that our human egos think that our little plan knows better than the bigger plan. So first of all, overwhelm arises from a misconception around A, who's running the show here, B, where we need to place our trust, and C, this misconception that our thoughts are true. So I'm going to deal with the first one. So when we make a plan, we're very limited. We're making a plan based on our limited perception. And the bigger plan that is available to us is God's plan. So DeMartini says that God is grand organized design. And my beloved's always describing God that way. And he's very good at feeling and sensing and seeing that life has this grand organized design. And any part of me that couldn't surrender to God, yeah, he really helped me through that. And the first way was, we don't have any control over anything that happens, and it's okay to deviate from the plan and to trust that there's a grand organized design that has a wider perspective, a wider seeing, a wider knowing, which comes from the wisdom of the universe. So can we surrender to that? Can we say, okay, something's happened that's unexpected. Wow, maybe I can surrender because God knows better than I do, right? And again, not seeing God as this white bearded man in the sky, but seeing God as a grand organized design. So everybody close your eyes. And if there's anything challenging you at the moment about an interruption of your plans and what's going on at a global level, is really a wonderful way to trigger that, to challenge this, or to activate this. So where in your life at the moment are you freaking out because the plan has changed? And just see if you can breathe into your body. Remember, it all starts with the breath. Breath is the gateway into presence, into acceptance, into allowance, and into surrender. So keep breathing. Can you surrender? Can you trust that there's a bigger plan that's giving you the exact life lessons that you're meant to learn, that's taking you into the exact direction that you're meant to move into? Even if you don't know how or don't know why. And that means you need to surrender to the mystery, which is a very much more feminine way of living than, trusting in grand organized design into the mystery. Is very different to trusting in this more masculine structure and plan. And there's nothing wrong with the masculine structure and plan, as long as you're ready to go, and now God is showing me this. And you throw the plan away and trust that that's bigger. So what was and
it's very interesting how, for me and a lot of my friends as well, it's very easy to have trust and faith and surrender in God, in spirit, when things are going well. And it's like, oh, thank you, oh my God is so amazing, like how amazing. And then when something happens that's outside of the plan and we lose control, for me at least, that's when I notice that my trust and faith just kind of get swept under the carpet. And yet they are the times that we actually need to really up that surrender and up the faith. And what I've noticed in my own personal experience is every time that something happens that's unexpected, it always works out in the end. With every adversity, there's a seed of success. And so the challenge that I'm setting myself is now when something happens that's outside of my control, rather than going into overwhelm, can I look back and go, every other time this has happened, it's worked out. So can I choose to hold on to trust and surrender this time and see how it works out? Rather than in retrospect looking back and going, geez, I wish I had a different perspective on that.
And I mean, even if things happened and it was a shit show afterwards, it's like, did that shit show teach you what you need to learn? Because I feel like with you, a lot of it moves and flows and it's all meant to be because you're deep in your practice and deep in your process. But for people who unexpected things are happening, you suddenly get sick, you suddenly lose your job, you suddenly can't enter a country, whatever it is, if you don't have a practice where you can allow to burn the fear and the stress and the anxiety that this situation is bringing up, and then come into that deeper space of surrender, then it's going to be more difficult, and you're not learning the lesson as you go, because as we surrender to the bigger mystery, we're also surrendering to the mystery within us, into this dark womb space of the feminine, where we have to breathe and feel, can I just allow it? Can I surrender? So yeah, can we surrender to a bigger plan? The second one, I'm now not remembering the 3 points I said. There was one about challenging beliefs. Do you remember what the other one was?
Was it the pause and the breathing?
No, I can't remember, but let's go to challenging beliefs. So in that moment where you're overwhelmed, there's probably some conditioned beliefs. Like if you're sick, oh no, being sick is bad, something is wrong, I need to get better. You know, the spiritual people can tend to go, oh, if I'm sick, that means that I'm doing something wrong, or I haven't been healthy enough, and you know, they beat up on themselves and try to dose themselves up or work really hard at working out how they get sick. But really, if you can surrender into being sick and feel the energetics of whatever's moving, the answer is in your body. And the same with absolutely everything. So the more that actually we can breathe into a situation and go, what is my belief around that? And feel that in our bodies. So, oh my God, this is catastrophic. This means that I'm not going to have any money. This means this means that. And often, yeah, those beliefs come from our parents or come from our upbringing. So you can go back and ask yourself, what have I been told about that? Feel the energy with that. Okay, something's happened. That means we're not going to get anything done, or the kids are going to suffer, or this is going to happen. Feel that fear in your body. Yeah, let that move. Maybe shake. Fully allow that. And then go to a different belief. Like, oh, wow. So this is perfect. I'm unwell, and this is the time that I'm being shown something. Oh, I've lost my job. This is the time I'm being shown something. You know, every time there's a mistake, it only stays a mistake, or any time there's a challenge, it only stays a challenge if we don't go within and really check it out. You know, check out, because we are the creators. We're the creators of our reality. So anything that's manifesting in our reality, we're creating at some degree, and God's creating. So we're asking the question, can we surrender? We're feeling anything that's getting in the way of that surrender by looking at the belief that's causing the stress and letting that belief move through the body. And then we're saying, what's a different belief? Okay. And then it's like, almost always you can say, How can I open to this experience and to the sensations that are arising? And once you do that, those experiences and sensations are showing you something. Maybe that you need more rest. Maybe that your work needs to take a direction. Maybe that, oh, even though this is taking away money at the moment, it's going to actually bring more money in. And you don't know, but life is so much more beautiful when you can surrender into the mystery of the unknown, sit in the uncertainty, and rather than trying to plan everything and lead life from your ego, you can actually go, all right, what's life showing me? What am I going to surrender to next? What am I going to surrender to next? And I'm not suggesting that you throw all plans out the window. Actually, I feel like it's really important every morning to set an intention for the day, as we talked about in our first video. And to have somewhat of a plan, you know, for the day. Be willing to throw it out, but also to be willing to go, what are the things that I really would love to get done today? And sticking to that, having integrity with that. Because every time you do something that your soul really wants to get done and that you know is good for you, or that's going to contribute to the legacy that you have to leave on the planet, guess what? Your serotonin goes up, your self-esteem rises, your confidence expands, and you start to feel more on purpose. And we're all masculine and feminine. We all have both, and being on purpose is really important. So we'll do a whole video around that, how important it is to also feel that masculine energy of purpose, because when the masculine isn't on purpose, he's like a feather in the wind, floating along, and then all sorts of interesting things happen that, yeah, we'll speak into in another one. And this one really is more about, this video is really more about surrender. And the invitation is to experiment with that. Whatever happens in your life today, and for the rest of your life you could even try, but at least for the next week, and see how you go. You know, you're on your way to the shops and your child spills everything all over the floor, right? You know, they've got a bowl. This has happened to me before. They've got a bowl of stuff, of creative stuff and paints, and then everything falls on the floor. Yeah, and you're like, and you had to go to the shops and be back by a certain time, and it's like, oh my God. And then the other option is to breathe into it, to go, okay, this has happened. Can I surrender to that? There's a bigger plan at play. So I'm using a very small example, but you can actually use it with small examples. And then feel the frustration in your body, challenge the belief, oh, okay, now because that happened, I'm not going to get to the shops on time, and all the catastrophizing. And then see if you can have a new belief. Oh, this is slowing me down. Maybe we actually need to stay home today. Maybe this has happened to show me something else, and there's a difference in the plan. Who knows? Who knows? But when you trust the omens, when you trust life, when you follow a plan that's bigger than your own, I can guarantee you that magic happens. Because since I've done this, everything falls into place. Everything that I need just falls onto my lap, and I'm just saying yes to it. Yes, yes. You know, even if I'm sitting in a restaurant and my friends have changed their plans, and, you know, there was one time I was really unwell, and I'd made a commitment to meet my friends out to dinner, and it took me a while to like trudge out, and I could kind of feel that maybe, you know, they needed to see me. And I went, and then they didn't show up, and I was just like, because I trusted that happened for a reason, and it happened for two reasons. One, when we did eventually see them, which was in just a synchronistic moment, my energy was in a totally different space, so I could fully enjoy it. And what I got out of that meeting, I wouldn't have got had it been previous to that. And the second thing was, I was like, why did you fucking go out when you were needing to just rest because you went into your caretaker? So once you start living life this way, you're no longer shaming and blaming external circumstances. You're no longer stressing about the external. Everything that's happening out there, you're able to bring into here and ask yourself, can I surrender to that? Can I feel what it's bringing up for me? Can I use this as an opportunity to rewire my beliefs? And eventually, can I just fucking let go of control, relax, allow, and follow the signs of the universe?